Hi, I'm Joey Blanco from RWB Realty Group, and let me start with one simple question. If buying a home has been on your mind, what's the one thing holding you back? For most people, it's one of three things: money, credit, or just not knowing where to start. And honestly, that makes sense. Buying your first home can feel complicated because there's so much information out there, and a lot of it is outdated or flat out wrong. So in this video, I'm going to walk you through the entire first-time homebuyer process step by step. By the end, you'll understand what lenders are actually looking for, how much money you really need, and how the process works, and what you should do if buying a home is something that you're thinking about. So let's start with the biggest concern most buyers have: money. A lot of people assume they need a huge down payment to buy a home. But honestly, that's not how most buyers purchase today. There are several loan programs designed specifically for first-time homebuyers. For example, FHA loans allow buyers to purchase with as little as 3.5% down. Conventional loans can allow down payments as low as 3%, and that depends on the program. And for eligible buyers, VA loans and some rural loan programs can allow zero down payment. Now, that doesn't mean buying a home is free. You'll still need to plan for closing costs, inspections, and moving expenses. But many buyers are surprised to learn that the total cash needed to buy a home can be much lower than they expected. And in some cases, sellers can even help cover a portion of the closing cost as a part of the negotiation. The next big concern buyers have is credit. A lot of renters think that they need perfect credit before they can even talk to a lender. Well, I'm here to tell you that is simply not true. Yes, your credit score matters because it helps determine the loan programs available for you and what interest rates that you qualify for. But you do not need perfect credit. Many buyers qualify with credit scores in the 600s. And if your credit score needs some improvement, a good lender can often help you create a plan to get there. Sometimes improving your credit score can be as simple as paying down a credit card balance or correcting an item on your credit report that was incorrect. The key point here is this: do not assume that you're not qualified. Have the conversation first. And if you need me to put you in touch with a lender, I know a bunch of good ones that would be more than willing to help you out. Another concern buyers often have is debt, especially student loan debt. Many people believe that having student loan debt means that they won't qualify for a mortgage. But lenders don't look at your debt in isolation. They look at your debt in relationship to your income. This is called your debt-to-income ratio. In simple terms, lenders want to see that your total monthly obligations still leave room for a comfortable mortgage payment. That means that buyers with student loans can still qualify for home ownership. Now, once buyers understand these basics, the next big question becomes this: where do you actually start? And this is where most people make a big mistake. They start browsing homes online, they start saving listings, and then they start imagining living in the different houses. But the first real step should be getting pre-approved. Pre-approval is when a lender reviews your income, credit, assets, and debts to determine how much they're willing to lend you. This is important for several reasons. First, it tells you your real price range. Second, it gives you confidence when you start looking at homes. And third, it makes your offer much stronger when you find the right property. In today's market, sellers want to know that buyers are serious as well as financially qualified. A pre-approval letter will help you to prove that. Once you're pre-approved, that's when the fun part begins: touring homes. This is where your real estate agent becomes incredibly valuable. Your agent helps you identify homes that match your goals. They schedule showings, they evaluate neighborhoods, and make sure you're not overlooking important details about the properties. It's also important to remember that buying a home just isn't about the house itself. You're buying into a location. Schools, commute times, neighborhood development, and future resale value all matter. A good agent, RWB Realty Group, helps you think about those things before you make a decision. Now, once you find that home that you absolutely love, the next step is making an offer. Your agent will help you determine a competitive offer price based on recent comparable market sales and current market conditions. One of the things that they're going to run is called a CMA, which is a comparative market analysis, and this will help you to come up with a really solid offer. The offer also includes other important terms such as the closing date, inspection timelines, and any request for seller concessions. For example, you want them to pay some of your closing costs. If the seller accepts your offer, the home then enters what's called the contract period. During this time, several important things happen. First is the home inspection. Now, from the buyer's perspective, you're going to hire a licensed inspector to examine the property to identify potential issue with the home's structure, systems, and safety. The goal here isn't to find a perfect house. Every home, even new construction, has some imperfections. The goal is to understand the condition of the home so you can make informed decisions moving forward. Next is the appraisal. The appraisal is ordered by the lender to confirm the home's value will support the purchase price. This protects both the buyer as well as the lender for overpaying for a property. At the same time, your lender is finalizing the mortgage approval. They're going to verify your employment, review financial documents, and then prepare the loan for closing. And this is where buyers need to be super careful. Once you're under contract, you want to avoid making any, and I mean any, major financial changes. Do not open new credit cards. Do not finance a car. Do not make any large purchases. And please, don't move large amounts of money between accounts without talking to your lender first. Any of those things could potentially affect your loan approval. Finally, here we are at closing day. This is where all the paperwork gets signed, the loan is funded, and ownership of the home officially transfers to you. Once everything is complete, you're going to receive the keys to your brand new home. Now, I want to step back just for a moment to talk about something bigger than the home buying process, and that's home ownership itself. For many families, buying a home is one of the most important financial decisions they will ever make. And not because it just provides a place for you to live, but because it will become a long-term wealth building tool. When you rent, your monthly payment goes entirely to your landlord. When you own, part of your monthly payment goes towards building equity in a property that you personally own. Over time, that equity can grow as the loan balance decreases and property values increase. And that's one of the biggest reasons so many people view homeownership as a major milestone. But here's the key. Buying a home should always fit your life and your goals. It's not about rushing into the market. It's about being prepared. Stable income, a good amount of savings, and a clear understanding of what you can comfortably afford. Now, personally, and I believe I have another video on this, I talk about the 25% rule. And so your house payments should be no more than 25% of your take-home pay. And if you do that, you will be able to afford that payment very comfortably. And finally, a trusted team helping guide you through the entire process. If you have those things in place, buying your first home becomes much less intimidating and much more achievable. So if you've been wondering whether buying a home might be possible for you, the next big step is simply starting the conversation. And if you're thinking about buying a home, whether it's in the next few months or even next year, I'd be happy to help you understand your options and build a plan. And if you found this video helpful, make sure to subscribe because I post videos regularly that help buyers and sellers navigate the Oklahoma City metro real estate market. Once again, I'm Joey Blanco, and I thank you for watching.